Hey, what is up, guys? It is Harrison Barron, the Millennial Entrepreneur. Thank you guys so much for checking out my channel. Now, going forward, I'm going to be changing some things on the channel, and a lot of this is going to be podcast related. Very different than anything I've done in the past, because it's not that LinkedIn's dead. I just think that there's a lot of value that podcasts can provide, not only for you to make some passive income, but also to help grow your business. And who wouldn't want that, right? So I'm definitely sticking along the lines of growing your business and how to make more money. But in today's video, we are going to be doing some different stuff. So today's video is all about podcasting and how podcasting can help you grow your business. Now, on the last video, I talked about how a podcast literally made me over $100,000. It's really cool. A lot of people are like, I don't know how to start a podcast. I don't even know where to start when I want to start a podcast, right? Sounds kind of crazy, but a lot of people have no idea. So in today's video, I'm just going to tell you guys about the impacts of a podcast on your business. And then in the soon-to-be future videos, I'm going to talk to you guys a lot about how the podcast can help you grow your business, how to start the podcast, and literally the equipment. So the mic, the stand, the cables, right? This is a lot of stuff that most people do not know. Now, my podcast is very different than most other people's. It's not online. It's all on Zoom. So don't think like if you're watching this isn't for you. If you're on Zoom, there's a ton of value that you're going to get out of this. But if you're looking to start a podcast, especially in person, which is where the business owners need to really pay attention because this is where you're going to thrive, then this is absolutely for you, this kind of mini-series inside my channel. So how did the podcast actually help me grow my business, right? That's really what I want to talk about. And there's a couple different ways that podcasting can literally help you grow your business. So the first is going to be exposure. There is a ton of different ways that you can get a lot of exposure on your podcast. One, you can invite people on the show. Two, when those people come on the show, they're going to start to tell other people about it, which is a great way to get a lot of exposure. And then three is the real key. You get to connect with other creators. So something that a lot of people don't actually think about is connecting with other creators and collaborating and inviting them on your show. Where if you're a business owner and you want your ideal prospects or, strategic partners to come on your show, that's a great way to get them in the door, to get them talking, because you're adding value. So there's a lot of different things that you could do as far as exposure goes. And on top of that, if you take your podcasts and digest them down into a really nice blog and post them online, there is a lot of information that you can get out of that. It's really, really cool, actually, and I highly, highly, highly recommend anybody that's even thinking about starting a podcast to use it for their business. It's a great way to not only make additional revenue, but if you don't even have a business and you want to start a business, a podcast is a great way to just start getting content on a regular basis to grow your company. Why wouldn't you? Only going to help you. So number one is definitely exposure for your business. It comes in a variety of different ways, and you're going to see things that you may have never even seen, may never have even expected. I've had people reach out to me and they're like, hey, love your show, want to get on it, stuff like that. And I met some really, really, really cool people along the way. Bonus tip, I'm going to actually show you guys in a later video how to find guests that are really qualified to be on your show. It is a little bit of work, but I am going to show you guys that. Number two on how it can impact your business, right? We covered exposure. But number two is really building your way of speaking to other people. I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of people struggle speaking with other people because they don't do it enough, right? It's very hard to make eye contact with other people, and a lot of people don't actually do it on a regular basis. I can't believe I'm saying that because I feel like it should be done on a regular basis, but a lot of people don't have conversations anymore, especially with COVID happening right now. They're happening less and less. It's very infrequent people are having these long format conversations. So speaking to somebody for 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes on a podcast is a great way to get really comfortable talking about a variety of different things. It also, and I don't know if there's science behind this, but it definitely improves your cognitive abilities really, really well. Because on the podcast, people are going to ask you questions that you might not have the answers for. And you have to think about them. And getting used to accessing those data files in your brain on a regular basis are only going to help you grow as a person. So I think it's really good that you get that kind of benefit out of it. So learning how to speak to other people is one of the major, major benefits of having a podcast. I love talking, hence why I do a YouTube channel. But when I talk to other people, I think the podcast has tremendously helped me grow as a person as far as being able to talk to other people. Now, the third thing that I think that is kind of a really good side effect of having a podcast is actually learning from other people. And this is one that I want to spend a bit of time on because a lot of people don't actually understand how it helps or how it could even help them, right? Sounds kind of weird. But when you think about it, when you're talking to somebody, you're engaging in conversation. Now, for me in my podcast, typically I try to have at least experts or people that have been doing something for a long period of time. So if it's a business owner, it's an accountant, it's a doctor, I'm hoping that either they're going to be an expert in what they're doing or they've been doing it long enough to provide really good insight in a different area that I may not know about. And the best way to learn is not reading a book. I do love reading books. I try to read as much as I possibly can. But my absolute favorite thing about it is being able to engage in an intellectual conversation with somebody else. And when I do, that's when the podcast gets really interesting. And those are typically my favorite podcasts that I do. It's just the nature of the beast. Being able to have a conversation with somebody and really go in depth about what they do, how they help people, and things you may never know, right? There's so many things that I've learned on my podcast that I wouldn't have Googled. I would have never had that opportunity. I would have never even thought about Googling it. But because I had a conversation with somebody and it came up while we were talking, I got to learn from a first-hand expert on it, which is something that a lot of people don't get to have. So when you have a podcast and you invite people on the show, you're going to be a sponge, an absolute sponge for knowledge. You're going to have so many experts on the show, and because of that, that's going to make your show significantly better. But the benefit and the side effect of that is you get to grow as a person in the knowledge that you have and what you get to learn over time. Now, there's things that you're going to forget, and look, we're all human. There's no way that I could have a brain Rolodex that's going to say, like, hey, Harrison, this is what you learned back in episode 1. But, like, I had my first podcast, or one of my first podcasts, with a guy who was really interested in coffee. Well, now I became really interested in coffee because I thought it was really interesting and really unique. And now I have a home grinder. I have a French press. I am constantly learning more and more about coffee. And because of that, maybe it's not going to make me a better person today, but it makes me make my morning beverage a little better. And when I make coffee for other people, I get to know a little bit more about it than your average person. Doesn't make me smarter? To know. But I get to use that knowledge for whatever I choose, and because I get to use that knowledge, now I feel better because I get to produce either a better beverage or something along those lines. So there's some really, really good benefits of having a podcast. Now, I highly recommend, if you haven't already, definitely hit the subscribe button. I'm not just saying that because, I want you to subscribe, although subscribers are great. But what I really want is I want you to subscribe because I want you to learn and join me on my podcast journey. If you guys are ever looking for more information on podcasts, go check out my blog, harrisonbaron.com/blog. And I have a bunch of stuff on there about podcasts, and I'm ultimately putting together a bunch more content for you about what are the best versatile mics, what's the best travel mic. There's so many different things that a lot of people don't think about, and the best part about podcasting is if you build your setup correctly, you could literally do it anywhere at any given time. And that's the coolest thing. So it's not something that you have to be geolocated for in a certain area. You can travel with it. You can do so many different things with it. And the conversations that you're going to have are going to blow your mind. I'm beyond excited to bring this content to you guys. It's what I've been working on. I've been crazy busy because of COVID and things like that, but I'm so glad to be back with you guys. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't already, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It does help the YouTube algorithm, and it probably will make your podcast better. That's just what I heard online. But last but not least, comment down below if you guys want to learn about podcasting. I want to tell you guys all about it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then,